We begin, though, tonight with breaking news. FBI agents searching the home of a Gravette man who was part of the mob that stormed the U.S. Capitol, sending members of Congress into lockdown Wednesday. Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 10. I'm Erica Thomas. 60-year-old Richard Barnett admitted to 5 News in an exclusive interview after the riots that he illegally entered the office of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and took a letter from her desk. Now he's facing several federal charges for his actions. 5 News reporter Juliana Clipson has more details on his surrender from his home in Gravette.
This road right here leads to the home of Richard Barnett. Now, over a dozen FBI agents were here for several hours today searching his home. Right now, he's sitting in the Washington County Detention Center. Viral images and an exclusive interview with 5 News helped bring FBI agents to the door of 60-year-old Richard Barnett.
Both media outlets here in Northwest Arkansas and the public alerted the FBI and did exactly what we hoped people would do.
Hours before his Gravette home was searched, Barnett turned himself in to the Benton County Sheriff's Office and later booked at the Washington County Jail to wait for his federal court date. Just after the riot at the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday, Barnett spoke exclusively to 5 News, detailing his time spent trespassing in the nation's capital with his feet propped up on a desk inside Nancy Pelosi's office.
And she ain't appreciating the desk, so I thought I'd sit down and appreciate the desk. I threw my feet up on the desk.
At that time, when asked about the possibility of federal charges, this was his response.
Absolutely, there's a possibility. Am I scared? No. But yeah, there's a possibility. I didn't do anything. I didn't even breach the doors. I got shoved in. I didn't mean to be in there. I was walking around looking for a bathroom.
Barnett faces a long list of charges, including theft of public records after taking an addressed envelope from Pelosi's office, and charges of violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds. He's one of 13 rioters arrested in connection to the crimes at the Capitol, but federal investigators say they know there's more.
We're here in Arkansas and we just made an arrest from the January 6th incident at the Capitol. This could happen anywhere in America. There are people who instigated violence and destruction at the U.S. Capitol, and we'd like to identify them. So we're urging people, take a hard look at those photos, take a hard look at those videos, and give us a call.
Investigators tell us Barnett will likely be arraigned for his initial appearance in federal court in Fayetteville on Tuesday. Then, eventually, he will be transferred to Washington, D.C. In Gravette, covering news where you live, Juliana Clipson, 5 News.
All right, Juliana, thanks. Again, federal investigators now asking for your help identifying other rioters in those photos and videos taken inside the Capitol Wednesday, because they believe there could be more from our area. We have a link to those images on our website, 5newsonline.com.